You need to always focus on what the patient's needs are. Developing a product that may seem niche or it may seem difficult, but if you're ultimately serving an unmet need, you're at least going to have the right reason for pursuing what you're doing.
Right back out here at Eyecelerator in Deer Valley alongside Arvo with the one and only Terry Kim. So how are you enjoying your new role, by the way, as Chief Medical Officer?
You know, I've been at Duke doing academic ophthalmology for 27 years. I was the director of the cornea service, the head of the refractive surgery service, and loved my career there. Very thankful for my years at Duke. But, you know, I was ready to do something else that I could make a bigger impact on a larger number of lives. And then to be in a position to really help shape the future of eye care seemed really exciting. And obviously with a world-class leader like Alcon to be in this position was truly a privilege and a pleasure. So it's been probably the most important thing, intellectually stimulating, not only learning the corporate side of how a big strategic like Alcon works. I mean, I never knew the depth of the R&D enterprise at Alcon and how much investment goes back into R&D. And that's truly one of the reasons why I think Alcon has been able to maintain its position in eye care and to meet all the brilliant people that work with the company that I never got that exposure to, mostly involved with the commercial folks, but to see the R&D side of things was really eye-opening.
Does it feel fresh again, sort of the newness of
100%. You know, the role of CMO can be very different from company to company. Amongst the strategics, we all do different things, you know, based on what the company needs. But I did certainly bend the ear of Rajpal, Steve Schallhorn, and they were very helpful in terms of giving me advice. For instance, one of them was, if possible, try to maintain some clinical activity. I wasn't ready to give up my physician hat, be able to still treat patients. I mean, it's a privilege, right, what we do. Discussing this with both Alcon and Duke, and both were very nice to kind of give me the opportunity to continue my surgical cataract practice. I had to drop all the transplants, IOL exchanges, which are always challenging and fun, but this allowed me to continue my clinical surgical practice in a field that I think was most relevant to Alcon. I also think, quite frankly, it makes me a lot more relevant to the KOLs that I interact with on a regular basis.
As a physician, you'd also have to maintain objectivity and sort of, you know, determining what's best for your patients. When you are working for a strategic, how do you still maintain that objectivity, which is very valuable?
As far as, you know, any other evaluation concerned, I'm another surgeon. And what's I found, I think, probably valuable to Alcon is I don't have any other conflicts of interest. I had to get rid of all that in terms of taking this position. So I'm giving them honest feedback about the advice in terms of my perspective solely for Alcon.
Do you ever see something coming through the pipeline where you're just like, guys, this is going to be a dud. We got to drop this, or something similar?
I think what's important about the process, because obviously at Alcon we have a governance process that guides us through all this, is you're going to have some people in the room that say, this is going to be a dud. And you know, somehow find it ends up being a true success, right? And the other way too. Oh, this is going to be a sure thing. And then after due diligence, it's not quite what you thought it was going to be. So it works both ways, but it's important to go through that process and get the feedback of the folks that are in that room, right? Evaluating the technology. And it comes from folks who have a medical background, scientific background, research background, business background.
I think everyone would accept the fact that Alcon is an extremely great marketing machine, and yet it needs to partner that with innovations, right, supportive of the community. So that's probably maybe a little bit of a delicate balance sometimes. What do you think of that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of work that I didn't realize that goes into a product. Look, we invest in internal products, but also external products as well. So especially if you're looking at an internal product that we're developing, there's so much work that goes into that. And so you want to, on one hand, make sure that you're doing your best to bring that to market, but you're also challenged by a whole bunch of other issues, right? The cost
Absolutely.
of goods, right? And
Right.
and the time to development, et cetera.
Alcon recently introduced 5 product launches from what I could see. Events like that where there's the extra effort given, which I do think makes a difference in our field. So, you being a part of that was just awesome. So kudos.
Well, thanks. So if you look at what we launched, Unity VCS, our phaco combined vitreoretinal unit, PanOptix Pro, Voyager DSLT, Wavelight Plus, and Audi, Alcon Digital Innovations, and that's going to encompass all our digital initiatives. But that's also going to translate into digital planning for the cataract patient, that you're going to be able to provide this planning that's going to be available in the clinic and transform that information into the OR as well, and available to your scope and your laser, femtosecond laser, etc. So it's all going to be seamless in terms of the integration. It's going to be a game changer.
That was a big thing at the media event at Alcon.
Correct.
Yeah.
At the heart of it, I think, these are addressing unmet patient needs. And at the end of the day, we're trying to make eye care better for those patients and also for our customers, our providers.
Good times coming. So thanks so much for joining Mice TV with us today, Terry, and we'll see you out there on the floor somewhere.
Oh, thank you very much, Matt. Enjoyed it.
All right.